Good evening. Tonight, we're following a major development in the ongoing debate over federal policy and public health. A federal judge has issued a nationwide halt to a new Trump administration policy that would have significantly changed the rules for organizations receiving federal funding for teen pregnancy prevention programs. The policy was set to take effect next month, but legal challenges quickly emerged from advocacy groups and public health organizations. The policy, part of a broader executive order signed by President Trump in January 2025, aimed to enforce new standards targeting what the administration called radical gender ideology. Supporters argued these changes would align federal funding with the administration's values, but critics warned they could undermine proven, evidence-based approaches to teen health. Judge Beryl Howell's ruling blocks these changes nationwide, not just for the groups that sued. In her decision, Judge Howell emphasized the importance of maintaining consistent, science-based guidelines for organizations working with vulnerable youth. For now, the previous evidence-based guidelines remain in place for all organizations, ensuring that programs can continue their work without disruption while the legal process unfolds. This legal battle highlights the ongoing clash between the administration's ideological goals and established public health practices. The case has sparked protests and intense debate among lawmakers, health experts, and community leaders. The court's decision forces the administration to reconsider its approach or appeal the ruling to a higher court. The outcome could set a precedent for how future administrations shape public health policy. As the case moves forward, the outcome will shape how teen pregnancy prevention programs operate across the country, affecting countless young people in the organizations that serve them. Let's take a closer look at the executive order and the significant changes it aimed to introduce to federal policy. The Trump administration's policy was designed to reshape how federal agencies approach teen pregnancy prevention programs, with a focus on aligning them with the administration's ideological priorities. Specifically, the executive order instructed agencies to overhaul their funding guidelines, introducing new requirements that went beyond traditional measures of program effectiveness and evidence-based practices. Under these new rules, organizations seeking federal grants would have to avoid any content that the administration considered to be promoting radical gender ideology, or that could be seen as undermining parental rights, even if such content was supported by scientific research. This marked a dramatic shift in federal policy, moving away from evaluating programs solely on their proven effectiveness and instead imposing a set of political and ideological standards that organizations had to meet. Many health providers and experts argued that these new criteria were not only vague, but also lacked a foundation in scientific evidence, making it difficult for organizations to know how to comply. As a result, the policy forced organizations to make a difficult choice: either continue using proven, evidence-based methods, or risk losing funding by not adhering to the administration's unclear and politically motivated requirements. The policy faced immediate and intense legal opposition from health organizations and advocacy groups across the country, who saw the changes as a direct threat to established public health programs. Planned Parenthood affiliates from California, Iowa, and New York quickly took the lead, filing a lawsuit in federal court to block the new rules from taking effect and protect the communities they serve. Their legal team argued that the new regulations were not only confusing and vague, but also directly conflicted with the law's requirement for evidence-based practices in health education and prevention. The plaintiffs pointed out that terms like radical gender ideology were left undefined in the policy, making it nearly impossible for organizations to know what was allowed and what could put them at risk. Health professionals and nonprofit leaders feared that this lack of clarity could lead to the loss of critical funding, based on subjective or political interpretations, rather than clear legal standards. Many also worried they would be forced to abandon proven, science-backed strategies that had been effective in reducing teen pregnancy and supporting youth health. The lawsuit was not just about technicalities, it was a fight to protect comprehensive, medically accurate education for young people, ensuring they receive the information they need to make healthy choices. At its core, the legal challenge sought to uphold the program's legal standards and maintain the integrity of public health policy. Ultimately, the case became a pivotal battle for the future of teen pregnancy prevention efforts nationwide, with far-reaching consequences for communities and families across America. Judge Howell's ruling sided with the plaintiffs, She found the new rules incomprehensibly vague, leaving organizations guessing about compliance. The administration failed to consult experts or justify the shift away from evidence-based standards. The judge said the policy was driven by politics, not public health needs. She ruled the changes conflicted with the law's requirement for proven, effective programs. The administration's actions were deemed arbitrary and capricious, making the policy unlawful. The decision was a strong rebuke of both the substance and process behind the new rules. Judge Howell's decision immediately blocks the new policy. Organizations can continue using evidence-based practices without fear of losing funding. The ruling applies nationwide, preserving stability for public health programs and the teens they serve. The administration can appeal or attempt to rewrite the policy, but faces major legal hurdles. For now, public health advocates see this as a victory, though the legal fight may continue. The future of teen pregnancy prevention guidelines depends on the administration's next move. We'll keep watching as this story develops.